Lots of great stuff in this episode. A special reunion, kindness repaid with interest, and an adoption that will bring happy tears to your eyes. Also, I'm probably going to hurt myself here in a second because, as Roger Murtaugh from Lethal Weapon might say, I'm too old for this. Hello, my friends, and welcome to The Bright Side. I'm your host, Bob Herzog. You know how some people can dance, like really dance? These days, you see them on the TikToks and whatnot. Well, I am not one of those people, despite my best efforts. I have, however, great respect for those kinds of moves. In fact, that holds true for both coordinated people and animals. Let's take a look on the bright side. I think we can all agree this one gets the old seal of approval, thanks to my director Ryan for teeing that joke up for me. Look at that great undulating thing. It's an elephant seal just roaming through the streets of a city in Chile recently. Now, as crazy as this looks, though, a local animal control officer there says this is totally normal to see these great bulbous beasts outside their natural habitat in that area this time of year. The seal was reportedly returned to the sea that same night with the help of neighbors and the Chilean Navy. Now, I wish we had video of that, because how do you move that thing? But anyway, did you notice how that thing moved? On land, that thing is totally doing the worm, or the centipede if you prefer. Watch again. It's like a scene straight out of Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo. That is the worm or the centipede or the caterpillar or whatever. That's so good. Oh, and hey, did you know that Rappin', which is technically the third film in the Breakin' series, is sometimes called Breakdance 3 Electric Boogaloo? Seriously, and weird. You saw it though, right? I guess you almost need like a side-by-side, maybe an up and down comparison. And as fate would have it, I can do the worm or the centipede or the caterpillar, whatever. Let me restate. I used to be able to do this without hurting myself. Now it could lead to Shelby taking me to the hospital. Of course, we've established already that wouldn't be the first time for that. This is a terrible idea. You guys ready? Let's do it. Here we go. Oh my gosh, my belt buckling is causing me tremendous pain. I think that was blunt force trauma to my duodenum. But I think you know what I mean now. I feel like I'm going to need something to uplift me back off the ground. Fortunately, we've got that. This is the story of a soldier and the dog she befriended while overseas being reunited on the home front. Jenna DeAngelis has more.
Come here. Hi. This is the first time Sergeant Erin Guthrie with the Oregon Army National Guard officially met the dog she had kept an eye on for months while deployed in Kosovo.
I was nervous because it was a stray dog approaching me, but I could just tell by the way that he was coming towards me, his mannerisms. He wanted a friend, and he didn't have a pack. He didn't have anybody he was with. I was honored that he would come up to me, and I just felt an instant connection with him.
Overseas on a peacekeeping mission for 8 months, but seeing the dog brought the 28-year-old peace being away from home. Having him nearby really brought some brightness to a pretty hard situation. When she left a few weeks ago, all she kept thinking about was the dog she named Mika.
I actually started looking for a dog when I was in quarantine on my way home, and I looked for a few days and I was like, I just want that dog.
Coming across Long Island-based Paws of War, which through its War-Torn Pups program raised over $6,000 to get Mika safely to the U.S. and reunited with its owner.
There's a lot of obstacles. There's a lot of paperwork. There's quarantine process that goes into this, but we feel it's all worth it. And with all the bad going on in this world, this is something that we can give back to do a little good.
The dog wagging its tail, finding the comfort of a friend from thousands of miles away in her arms, which is home.
I was nervous that he wouldn't recognize me, but the fact that he pulls into me just the same way, and he recognizes me, he knows me, and that's an amazing feeling.
Such a sweet, sweet dog. And dogs will do that, right? Just sort of fill your heart with joy. And so with that in mind, let's catch up with another canine. If you live in my neck of the woods, you already know this guy. And if you like a certain kind of Easter candy, you might know him too. More national recognition is on the way for Lieutenant Dan. You may remember earlier this year, this two-legged dog from New Richmond, Ohio, home of the Cardboard Boat Museum, by the way, won the Cadbury Bunny Contest. And now Lieutenant Dan will be featured in the 2021 Walkin' Pets calendar. The calendar features dogs like Dan who use carts to get around. Proceeds from the calendar go to the Handicapped Pets Foundation. You know, so many of the things we talk about here on the bright side come out of adversity and challenge. Many out west are facing unprecedented difficulties due to the wildfires, and that's where our next story begins. In devastation, newlyweds barely escaping smoke and flames, but managing to get out with their lives, and some war medals and wisdom hard-earned many, many years ago. Cornell Bernard has the story.
Yeah, and there's no question with all the smoke and whatnot that it was time to leave.
100-year-old Howard Holla says the glass fire was closing in and there was no time to lose. So he and his new bride, Joanne, hightailed it out of their Deer Park neighborhood with their two dogs.
It started about a mile from our house, and that's when I figured we got to go quick and better take the most important stuff.
That had a 75 millimeter cannon in the nose.
That stuff wasn't food or clothes. It was Howard's memorabilia from his decorated career flying missions as a captain with the U.S. Army Air Corps during World War II.
This is World War II victory. This is the DFC, Distinguished Flying Cross.
Howard shows us his combat medals. Joanne gets emotional because there's nothing she treasures more.
There's nothing else in the house that was so valuable as his experience and memories. That, I mean, it's something we all need to understand what the veterans do for us.
Sadly, the home they shared was reduced to rubble, nothing to salvage. But Howard is not giving up.
It isn't the challenge that you're facing, it's the way you're going to face the challenge. That's been my creed.
Howard and Joanne got married last July. They met in 2018 when he hired her to help compile a book about his military career. Howard took his time proposing.
She gets upset with me. Why did it take you so damn long?
He's a joy. He makes me laugh.
These newlyweds are staying with friends for now. They plan to rebuild a new house for two on the very same site.
I have my memories, but I lived a great life in that house. And now it's time for a new adventure. And I'm very lucky to have Howard. He's given me he's a rock.
Howard and Joanne moving on together.
Joanne helped Howard write a memoir based on his experiences in World War II. It's called Skies Over China, Accounts of the Chinese-American Composite Wing. It's not the challenge you're facing, it's how you're going to face the challenge. That's some wisdom right there. Now, I have no evidence that they've ever met or ever will meet, but I have this sneaking suspicion that Howard would really like the next young man you're about to meet. So let me set the scene for you here. Not long ago, Brittany Reed and her 3 children stopped at a McDonald's in Waynesville, Ohio. By the time she got through the drive-thru, Brittany says all of her kids were crying. Moms and dads, you can feel that, right? And on top of that, that's when she realized she'd left her purse at home. So the drive-thru attendant, 16-year-old Wyatt Jones, pulled out his own debit card and paid for Brittany's order.
She just looked like she was having a bad day and needed help. I don't know how to put it into words because it's just how crazy it was. It's just a small act of kindness and everything blew up, and it's amazing to think that something like that can get you this far.
Now, to say thank you, Brittany launched a GoFundMe for Wyatt. He's been working to save up for his first car. And that GoFundMe is almost at $35,000 raised. That would be a pretty sweet ride, but Wyatt's mom says he'll be saving some of that money for the future. And if good karma came around to help that young man, just think what's in store for the photographer I'm about to tell you about. So a 5-year-old girl in Rhode Island is given the real royal treatment. Ariana Taft is fighting kidney cancer, and she turns to her love of Disney for strength during her treatment. So photographer Ashley Richer ordered these costumes and helped Ariana dress up like Belle and Snow White and Elsa and Merida. Then she captured the whole thing on camera for free.
Every second of it is amazing. It's really just to help them feel special for a day and to kind of make them forget about what they're going through.
Richer says she's photographed a number of children battling serious diseases. She says other kids have wanted to be superheroes or mermaids. or unicorns. Ashley Richer is sort of a superhero herself. She makes dreams come true for kids like Ariana. Hey, we've got time for one more now. One more to inspire. A New York nurse became certified for emergency foster care 2 years ago so she could care for one of her longtime patients. And now he's a permanent part of her family. Dan Brazil has this one.
With nearly 2 grown children, Kelly Daybeck says there was plenty of room in her heart and in her home for 9-year-old Josiah.
We knew what we had to do. And my whole family, we knew. We knew that's what we wanted to do.
It was on September 1st this year when Kelly officially adopted the little boy with special needs. But she'd been his nurse practically since he was born, so she knew exactly what she was getting into.
He was born prematurely. He was born at 23 weeks.
Kelly says Josiah spent 4 years in a rehab home after his mother unexpectedly passed away. He then went into the foster care system.
And I became emergency foster care certified, and he came home with me.
That was 2 years ago. Josiah is doing much better today. You can often find him putting on his helmet and taking off on his bike in the Boston Spa neighborhood. He has a long list of illnesses and disorders, from chronic respiratory failure to epilepsy, asthma, and developmental issues. He had a tracheostomy. The tube that you see is to help him breathe, speak, and swallow.
So he goes to a neurologist, he goes to a GI doctor, he goes to an endocrinologist because he also was diagnosed with failure to thrive.
Kelly's 2 girls, who are both in college, chip in whenever possible.
Yeah, I've got schoolwork, I have 2 jobs, so it's like I'm always busy, but every chance I get, like he comes to dinner with me and my friends and he'll just spend time with us. All my friends love him.
Haley is officially an aide helping with Josiah's schoolwork, his regimen of medication every day, and food for his special diet.
When I first started, there was a lot more meds and there was a different amount of food and water.
They admit it hasn't always been easy on the family.
No, but we've gotten used to it within the past 2 years, and it's just gotten easier.
But without him, without his special personality.
So what do you think about your sisters? Huh?
They say their house would never be the same.
You guys are really close.
Yeah. We always have been.
And you can see it. What an awesome, awesome family. Thanks for being part of our family here on The Bright Side. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Tell your friends what we're doing here. We're spreading the good news. And we'd love for them to be a part of it too. We'll see you next time when we take a look on The Bright Side.